Only on Source Life Radio.
LGBTQ is an initialism that stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and the queer. LGBTQ community is in support of homosexuality, which can be interpreted to mean attraction or sexual behavior between members of the same sex or gender, rather an enduring pattern of emotional, romantic, and sexual attraction to the people of the same sex. LGBTQ history dates back to the first recorded instance of same-sex love and sexuality of the ancient civilization, involving the history of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and the transgender people and cultures around the world. What survives after many centuries of persecution resulting in shame, suppression, and secrecy has only in more recent decades been pursued and interwoven into more mainstream historical narratives. In March 2014, a dangerous spike of violence against the LGBTQ people in Kenya was observed when anti-gay caucus called for citizens' arrest of the gay and lesbian people. This incident steadily increased immediately after the presentation of the Kenya Anti-Homosexuality Draft Bill in July 2014. LGBTQ rights are human rights that are meant to promote a position of social and legal equality of lesbians, gays, bisexual, and the queer people in the society. These rights address injustice against members of the LGBTQ community by outlawing discrimination and violence. Mzee Jomo Kenyatta said there was no word like homosexuality in Kenya, and it was foreign and totally un-African. His successor, President Moi, too said that Kenya had no time and room for homosexuals, and it was against African norms. In the year 2006, the gay and lesbian formed a union that was fighting for legalization of the LGBTQ community. But in 2019, the High Court upheld the illegality of same-sex marriages and declared that LGBTQ community is unconstitutional. LGBTQ persons in Kenya face legal challenges not experienced by the non-LGBTQ residents. Sodomy is a felony per section 162 of the Kenyan Penal Code, punishable by 14 years imprisonment, and any sexual practices between males termed as gross indecency are a felony under section 165 of the same statute. Trans men and women from across the world unfortunately still face discrimination, rejection, and hardship on a daily basis simply because of who they are. Take Lily for instance. She's a young trans woman from Kenya and was rejected by her family after she came out as a transgender. After a long struggle, Lily has finally found the fortunately happiness.
We are not only afraid for our own safety, we are afraid for the safety of our immediate families who are okay with us.
It's 90% of the stories. Anybody who comes out in school or before schools, 90% are thrown out. Discrimination everywhere.
These people face a challenge of recognition. The trans people submitted a memorandum on the 2016 health bill seeking to be legally recognized and to curb the stigma associated with the trans identity. The law has remained unchanged. One of the things that the society does to marginalize certain groups of people is to ignore them and pretend that they are invisible. The truth is, we all have a long way to go as far as community is concerned, because the fact that the law criminalizes you gives everyone a chance to harm you. To accept the gay person to express themselves fully and implement their demand is something which is likely to take a longer period, although slowly. They have started getting recognition around the country. However, what this community is crying out for is for the public to at least treat them with human dignity they deserve. Years back, one would never thought that Kenya could get to the point that LGBTQ community will go to court and fight for their rights. The generation is a much braver group of individuals trying to ensure other Kenyans learn to love, live, and accept themselves for who they are.
Only on Source Life Radio.